Here's how Capitol Hill in King County, Washington, USA cut drive-alone trips by 16%, providing an example for other communities where most trips are already not drive-alone.
Capitol Hill in Motion project was part of the broader In Motion program. That is a King County Metro program where we go to different neighborhoods in King County and we use social marketing techniques to shift travel behavior from driving alone to some other mode of travel. We looked at the census journey to work data, and 70% of the people in the neighborhood were already using a non-drive alone mode to get to work. When we looked at the demographics, we learned that they had relatively low rates of car ownership compared to other neighborhoods in the city of Seattle. They were relatively young with a median age of 35 and pretty well educated. People really felt like they were already using alternative modes of transportation. And what we also learned is that there were a lot of newcomers and they weren't necessarily as aware of the travel options available to them. The strategies that we landed on for the Capitol Hill in Motion project are really tied to the conversations that we had with the community before we launched the project about the barriers that they have to using public transit, walking, biking, and what might motivate them to try those modes of transportation.
Because the goal of the campaign was to reduce drive-alone trips, we chose to target people who owned cars for this campaign. And we did that in a couple of innovative ways. One of the ways is looking at a direct mail list where we could purchase the list of people that we knew owned cars and they got mailers. We also did things like advertising on the top of gas station pumps in order to target those people who would be there in their cars. It was really important for us to also show those young professionals in our materials. So our visuals and the people we showed mirrored what our research told us about who was living in the neighborhood. Our call to action for the program was to get people not to change all their commutes and all their trips, but basically to change 2 trips per week to an alternate mode. So this is very achievable, and by giving them the incentives to do that, we were able to really encourage the trial of that behavior and then the maintenance of that behavior over time. One of the really neat things we did as part of this program is to match our marketing tactics with what was going on in the fabric of the community. So rather than just doing cookie cutter approaches, we figured out what was going on in the community and how we could get involved. So we did things like guerrilla street teams that went out and talked to people at community events. We did sidewalk chalk. We worked with a cartoonist that was local to that community to create a cartoon specific to this campaign, and we participated in Gay Pride in the community. So by doing these kind of events, we really integrated the campaign with the fabric of what was going on in the community.
The In Motion program overall uses a few different ways of measuring results, and the Capitol Hill In Motion project was no different. So we use participant surveys, we use trip log data during the project where people tell us how they're changing their travel behavior during the project, and we use transit card data looking at how people are using the transit card that we provide. And we were really pleased with the results that we saw. So based on the pre and post survey, we saw a 16% decrease in drive-alone travel. And we saw increases in all of the other modes, which was just really great. And really recently, we went back to the participants that participated in the project and asked them how they're getting around today. And we found that they're continuing to drive less even 1 year after the end of the project. And that is just an amazing thing to hear.
Could a similar approach work in your community? Share this video with others where you live and see what they think. Would your local politician, NGO, or program manager benefit from seeing this video? Send them the YouTube link. We've purposely made the video less than 5 minutes, perfect for bringing to a board, council, or other planning and management meeting. If you already have a successful program, consider nominating it. Landmark nominations are due each year at the end of May.